Gosh, how are we, Boscombe? You told me it's so bright. Blimey. But I can safely say that you are the best looking crowd in Boscombe I have ever seen in my comedy career, because this is my first gig in Boscombe. Now, I was going to tell you something, because I'm not proud of this, but back in August, I was feeling very smug, because I normally go abroad in August, and when all those planes got grounded, and all those people had to stay wherever they were, for once I didn't, because I went on holiday in June, in term time. Can I get a woo for that? Woo! Thank you. It wasn't a proper holiday. I went with the wife and kids. But let me tell you something, I got laid a lot. So I've said that wrong. I got lays a lot. They are the foreign Walker's crisps. But having sex and a packet of lays are two very different things, because a packet of lays can sometimes take me over 5 minutes. Although both can leave a salty taste in the mouth. Now, as I said, it was in term time, so I had to go to my kids' school to get permission. So I went in to see them, and they said, Mr. Brown, now here's a tip for you, when dealing with contentious matters with schools, never use your real name, okay? So they said, Mr. Brown, yes, you can take them out of school. We will just record it as an unauthorised absence. I said, fine. They said, yes, we will. So poor Mr. Brown has got that expense to come. Now, I said, I've got 2 kids, and have you got many parents in? You still have hands up, yes. When you become a parent, you suddenly realise that you've got to start being responsible. You've got to make some sensible decisions. So when my daughter started secondary school, I thought I'm going to have to give her some advice. But the one thing I didn't really take into account when I decided to give her advice was that my school was very different to hers, because I went to a Roman Catholic all-boys boarding school, and she didn't. And I thought, I'm going to have to warn her about the showers. Now, at the school I went to, we didn't just have showers, we had communal showers. Now, just to explain, by communal, I do not mean showers in which you took Holy Communion. But in hindsight, the two things did have something in common: getting on your knees and having something placed in your mouth. To be fair to Sir, the PE teacher though, he was full of compliments. He did say he was like, nice tackle, boys, but again that was during the showering process. He was very strict on PE kit as well, very strict. It was always correct kit or you do it in no kit. But he'd forget his kit every week. So after games, it was like an episode of Naked Education on Channel 4. If you haven't seen that, Google it, but not using your work laptop. But it did turn out that my daughter doesn't have showers after games. This is all in vain anyway, me confiding in her in this, because they just go home in their PE kit. So, there we go. That would have taken all the fun out of the teachers' jobs at my school, I can tell you that. Now, the other thing I thought I'd better warn my son about was all these TV presenters have been back in the news, haven't they? Hugh Edwards and Russell Brand. So I said to my son, look, do not get too fond of your favourite TV presenters. Now, he was a big fan of a guy called Justin Fletcher, otherwise known as Mr. Tumble. So I thought I'd better warn him. So I said, look, son, it could be that one day the police raid Justin's house and tell him to put away his little monster. Now, he said to me, why are you warning me about this? I said, well, look, son, in the 1980s, when I was a child, my favourite shows on the BBC and things were presented by the likes of Jimmy Savile and Rolf Harris. So I better warn you. But it's all right, because by about 1988, I think it was, we had the much more wholesome Philip Schofield entertaining Britain's youth from the broom cupboard. But I thought he left the broom cupboard to play Joseph in about 1989, but no, it turns out, doesn't it? He was in touch with the youth from firmly within the closet for many decades. But his career choices all look sensible, don't they, looking back? So he did the WeBuyAnyCar.com adverts, didn't he? Because there's nothing he likes more than a nice little runner with not many miles on the clock. And then later on he was skating on very thin ice for the last few years, wasn't he? How am I doing for time? In other news, I got a puppy back in, when was it, July? A 3-month-old puppy. I didn't want him. Because I thought that the days of me waking up to crying and wailing and clearing up shit had long gone. To be fair, that was sorted when the wife had a colostomy bag fitted. But But yeah, no, to be fair, as he's grown on me. And I reckon in a couple of years, he will make a lovely chow mein. Now that's a joke for my Chinese followers on TikTok. I thought I'd include that. But we did the responsible thing. We went to puppy training classes because me and my wife hadn't had any dogs when we were little. So we went to puppy training classes and we learned the basic commands, sit, wait and all that. But then in a hushed tone, she turned to us and said, listen, I've got to warn you of something. There are dogs in Bournemouth. They've been going into the hedges in parks and eating human feces and getting really ill. I thought, well, I was shocked, to be honest. I thought, great, I can't even shit in my own back garden. Dear, dear. I tell you about my brother as well. Strange people. My brother. I moved down to Bournemouth actually when I was 18 to go to university. Any university students here? Yeah, it's a great university. It's a great place to go to university, especially when you grew up in a shithole in the Midlands like I did. But, to put it mildly. But yeah, my brother, when I went to university, he stayed. And I thought he was doing his law exams because he told me he was a trainee barrister. Turned out he worked in Cafe Nero. I said to him, I saw him recently actually, I said, what are you doing now? He said, pet grooming. I said, that is disgusting. He said, I'm just